So this week on the Face Yoga Expert podcast, we are talking about ear seeds. So if you don't know anything about ear seeds, but you're interested in wellness for feeling good, but also for looking good, then my guest this week, Gisele Boxer, is going to be the perfect guest for you. So it's going to be a must listen. Also, if you're interested in traditional Chinese medicine, you want to hear about a healing story, and also get some top tips to look and feel the best version of yourself. Now, some of you may know Gisele already if you watch BBC Dragon's Den, or if you know Steven Bartlett. She is a Dragon's Den winner, and Steven Bartlett was her investor. And she rose to fame through Dragon's Den, and her business has gone from strength to strength since. So we are very lucky to have her here on the podcast this week to share her stories and her wisdom. And if you haven't already got my course, the Face Yoga Expert Facial at Home, now is the time to grab it. It's a gorgeous course that allows you to do face yoga and skincare together. It's a series of 10 videos. You can dip in and out of the videos whenever you like, and it combines doing face yoga with your cleanser, your toner, exfoliator, mask if you use those, with your moisturizing serum. So if you like time saving, but you also love self-care, it's the perfect course for you. It's only £21, one-off fee, lifetime access, and you've got all these gorgeous videos that you can take with you into your bathroom wherever you do your skincare to help tone the muscles, to help boost the circulation, to help the lymphatic drainage in your skin, to help relax tension, but also to know how to use your skincare effectively. It's called the Face Yoga Expert Facial at Home. I'll also put the link in the show notes for you. But without further ado, let's get into this week's episode with the lovely Gisele. Gisele, a warm welcome to the Face Yoga Expert podcast. How are you today?
I'm really great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm excited to chat to you. I know we've been chatting to each other online for a while, and finally we've connected now, which is amazing.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
And I know my audience are going to love everything you do. I'm sure many of them are already aware of what you do, particularly because of your amazing time on Dragon's Den and the investment you got through that. So maybe we start there. Maybe tell us a little bit about the Dragon's Den experience, and then we'll go into talking about the ear seeds.
Yeah, so it's been quite a whirlwind really since Dragon's Den. It went on TV about 18 months ago now. Which feels like a lifetime ago. And the recording of the episode was actually over 2 years ago now. So very long time ago. But yeah, it was an incredible experience going into the den. And it was amazing that all 6 dragons offered investment, particularly when you're running, I guess, an alternative medicine business. There are skeptics out there and people that don't necessarily believe in it, but it felt like a real turning point for me to know that actually, like, alternative healing and Chinese healing is becoming more mainstream and is becoming more accepted in the modern, Western world. So yeah, it was incredible. It was great.
That's so cool. And Steven was your investor, so I guess you were able to choose him out of all of the dragons.
Yes, yeah. But I definitely had my eyes on him before I went in, because of his involvement in the wellness space and all of the kind of skills and knowledge that he has about promoting brands on social media. So yeah, he was definitely the one for me.
That's amazing. And where's it taking your business? So maybe if you give us an overview about what you were sort of doing day to day prior to Dragon's Den and how things have changed in the last 18 months for you.
Yeah, so prior to Dragon's Den, and even on the day that the episode was aired, I was the only person in my business. So I was doing absolutely everything. Social media, bookkeeping, operations. I was doing everything apart from packing orders, which that sat with a warehouse, thank the Lord, because if I had to pack...
I've been there before. I've been there with packing back in the day with DVDs when we used to sell DVDs. Packing them, it is grueling work.
Yeah, definitely. But the the demand for the product after Dragon's Den was insane. So if I had to pack that many orders from home, it would have been disastrous. But yeah, after Dragon's Den, due to the exposure that we received and all of the support that we received, I've now been able to basically outsource the majority of my business, which has been an absolute game changer, really. So I outsource a lot of the marketing now. We've got ads set up on socials. We've got an email marketing team. We've got an operations manager. We've got someone looking after all the finance, which is definitely not my forte. And yeah, I'm kind of still very much involved with the social media side of things, and just the general like day-to-day running of the business as well.
And how have you found that transition? Because I know you sort of come into motherhood during that time as well. How have you found going from it just being you to then managing a whole team and being so much more in the public eye and showing up on social media all the time?
It's been an interesting journey. Let's call it that. I mean, I was 7 months pregnant with my second daughter when the episode aired.
Okay.
So that in itself was quite intense. And obviously having to pivot and get loads more people on board in those like 3 weeks after the episode aired was insane, like incredibly difficult. I was working all hours of the day. And then throw on top of that, unfortunately, some negative press, which I guess comes hand in hand with promoting alternative healing. And yeah, so I had to deal with all of that as well, which was something that I guess I wasn't really expecting. I went on Dragon's Den to share my journey of how I had a condition called ME and how I recovered through a variety of different alternative healing practices, including Chinese medicine. And yeah, unfortunately, there was a fair amount of backlash from people that have ME, a charity which supports ME. And yeah, I just think general people who don't believe in Chinese medicine, the skeptics out there.
It's very tricky. And like you say, all you're doing is sharing your personal journey. And also, I think for anyone that hasn't been on TV before, and I've done plenty of TV in my time, actually there's a whole editing process. You also have a very small amount of time to tell your story. So actually you can't put all the background in and things can easily get misconstrued, which is definitely not the fault of the person speaking. You know, it's unlike a podcast where you have 30 minutes or an hour or longer than that to be able to go in depth with everything. TV's a very different beast.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was in the den for 2 hours and the edited version that went on TV was 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's
and you're not in control of that editing either. So I'm sure, you know, your 2-hour story will have got put together in a way that maybe you wouldn't have chosen to do it. But I know that despite the fact that you did get some negative backlash, you also got so much positivity and so much love, and also have helped so many people, because actually people using the ear seeds and your other traditional Chinese medicine tools and your wellness tools that you offer have actually made a massive difference to people. And that is what matters.
Oh, definitely. And I've had to kind of remind myself of that, because it was so hard at the time with, you know, I had a journalist turn up at my house when I was 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
And I had no idea where she'd got my address from. Like, it was a complete like invasion of my privacy and of my family life. And couple that with, you know, like messages of just pure hatred on social media and in the emails and everything like that. And to be completely honest, it had a huge impact on my mental health.
Sure.
As it would with anyone, right?
Yeah.
Going through something like that. But something which I had to keep reminding myself of was, okay, there's a lot of bad press that's coming out. All of it's fake. The Daily Mail were just spinning and spinning a new story after another. And yes, it like so many people saw it, but so many people saw it who have now tried the products and have now changed their lives with those products. So I have to keep putting a positive spin on it. Otherwise, it could have been game over for me and my business, to be completely honest. So yeah, even now I receive like so many incredible messages from people. You've inspired me. I had ME. I've recovered now using Chinese medicine. I've, you gave me hope. You've introduced me to all these different products, and yeah, it's amazing to receive that feedback from people.
So amazing. And I don't know if you know my story. So I also got into everything I do because of going through ME. So I was 21. Yeah, I just left university and I was pretty much bedridden for a good 18 months actually. And I used lots of holistic healing tools to help myself completely recover within probably about 18 months to 2 years. And that's when I then retrained as a yoga teacher and all the different other holistic therapies I've now done for, well over 22 years now. But it's interesting because over those 20 plus years, I, as you imagine, have worked with lots of other people with chronic fatigue and ME and had multiple questions. I mean, probably thousands or hundreds of thousands at this point about what was the one thing I did to recover from ME. And I wish there was one thing. I wish there was one magic formula. But for me, it was a huge variety of things. It was everything from working on my mindset, nourishing my body. Chinese medicine was part of it, acupuncture, acupressure, yoga, breath work. I mean, the list absolutely goes on. Things I was able to do myself, literally from bed, things I used with other practitioners and they helped me on my journey. And it's interesting to hear you say about how the editing process or whatever the messaging that came across it was that one thing, because I've had lots and lots of press over the years. And again, often the press want to ask me, so it's face yoga that helped you recover from ME? Or well, just face yoga, face yoga recovered Danielle from ME? No, it wasn't actually face yoga. It was a whole combination of things. I just think people like an easy answer. And people like it to be really simple. And unfortunately, ME and chronic fatigue is very, very complex. Why we get it is very, very complex. And, the cause is still relatively unknown. And then the recovery from it is hugely complex as well. And, I'm 20 plus years completely recovered from it now. But I still do things today that helped me recover then, because I still look after myself in the way that I needed to then to recover.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Like, there were so many things that I did to support my health and well-being over that time. And for me, the Chinese medicine, it just felt like it skyrocketed my recovery. Like, it really pushed me forward quicker than the other things. But prior to the Chinese medicine, I changed my diet completely. I removed absolutely everything basically from my diet. I was doing breath work. I meditated every day. I was resting, like gentle stretching, like also a lot of mindset work as well. Like a lot of that belief, I will recover, and I think that's a huge part of it as well. And that's probably something that which people don't really like to think about, because they're like, you can't just wish that you were okay and then you're okay. But it's such an important part of the process. And I think something which I couldn't really find online when I was struggling with ME were recovery stories. So initially I started an Instagram account talking about what I was trying and how I was recovering and stuff like that. And it helped so many people. But the really sad thing about all of the negative press when I was talking about ME was that it just made me go back into my shell so much more and never want to speak about ME ever again. Because if I did, it was really unsafe and I was going to get hate and I was going to get, these horrible messages online. But when all of the bad press happened, I had so many messages from people who have recovered from ME, and they were in my DMs and they said, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I've been through exactly the same thing, with the ME community and with the charities and they then took us a step back as well, and it's really sad, because if I had ME today, all I would want to see online were people that have recovered, so that I can have that hope and that motivation to keep going. But because it's such a complex illness, and there's, as you said, there's not much research from an NHS, like Western medicine perspective. Yeah, the people who have recovered have taken a step back and don't really want to talk about it. So something which I'm pushing forward to do now, and after a lot of therapy over the last sort of 9 months, is getting back out there again and telling my story, and just being that like beacon of hope for people who are struggling right now.
It was so important, because when I was diagnosed, it was 2003. We didn't even have social media then. I mean, I barely used the internet then. I don't think hardly any of us were. So I didn't even have that community or those beacons of hope. So I can imagine now for people, particularly with the huge amount of information we have out there, and not always the best information, actually having experts in the field that not only have knowledge, but also have been through it themselves and come out the other end, must be hugely helpful and inspiring for people.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And let's talk about ear seeds. So I am so intrigued by them. I have used them many times myself. My acupuncturist will often put some in just as I leave a treatment. I've never put them in myself or sort of applied them myself, but I'd love for anyone that doesn't know what ear seeds are, for you to explain sort of really back to basics level what they are, how they work, and also how we apply them ourselves at home.
Yeah, so they are a Chinese medicine tool that have been used for thousands of years. Using the ear as a way to heal the body has been used for thousands of years. And in Chinese medicine, the ear is seen as a microsystem of the body. So most people know about reflexology on the feet, but they don't necessarily know about the ear and how powerful the ear can be. And there's points on the ear that correspond to different body parts and organs. And Chinese medicine sees disease and illness as imbalances in the body. So with the ear, by stimulating different points on the ear, you can actually address imbalances in different parts of the body and in the organs. Now, for some people who don't believe in Chinese medicine, there's also a Western medical perspective as well, which is great. And there's more and more research coming out now about the vagus nerve and about stimulating the vagus nerve and how that can bring the body back into balance and regulate your nervous system, which is so important for bringing healing into the body and for making you feel better, sleeping better, having better digestion. And there's actually some points on the ear where you can directly stimulate the vagus nerve through points on the ear. So whether that's with needles or with ear seeds or even massaging, like gently massaging the different points, you're stimulating the vagus nerve. So there's two sides of it really. And they're super easy to apply at home. We have kits, so it comes with all of the instructions that you need to learn how to apply the ear seeds. We've also got some really great tweezers which we had made bespoke for the application. So they are quite small and quite fiddly, but with the right instructions, we've got many video tutorials online as well. And just with a bit of patience, really, it's quite easy to learn how to apply them on your own at home.
Amazing. And they also look gorgeous as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see, you probably can't. They're super tiny.
Yeah, don't know if we can see on camera here, and anyone that's listening, Giselle's showing her ear at the moment, and I can't see it, but I have seen lots of your lovely photos of them, and like I say, I've had them on myself before, and they just look like gorgeous jewellery, really.
Yeah. So we've got 24 karat gold, silver, and then we've got a range of Swarovski crystal ear seeds as well. So they look really beautiful, exactly like jewelry. Like you've got lots of different piercings in the ear.
Really beautiful. And also, I know you are a fan of other traditional Chinese medicine tools, such as acupressure mats, which I love. Tell us a little bit more about what else you offer and how they can be helpful for us.
Yeah, so another great thing which happened after Dragon's Den was we were able, with the cash that we received from the influx of orders, we were then able to branch out into other products. But we had to rebrand. So when I was on Dragon's Den, the brand was called AcuSeeds, and that was very much pigeonholed to just sell ear seeds, because AcuSeeds is an abbreviation of acupressure ear seeds. And we, in October last year, we rebranded to East Healing, so that now we're able to provide a wider range of Chinese medicine products and help more people. So we have an acupressure mat and pillow, which I'm obsessed with. I use it every single night without fail. And it's incredible for releasing muscle tension. It's really great for calming your nervous system, for improved sleep, reducing anxiety as well. I sometimes even use it at like 3 p.m. when you're just like, oh, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to do anything else. And I'll go and lay on the mat for 10 minutes, do some breath work or some meditation. And then it's like I'm reset then for the rest of the day and evening with the kids when they're back from school.
Yeah.
And we have an acupressure headband, which is similar to the mat. So it's got the tiny spikes on, but you literally wrap it around the head. And it's super supportive for things like headaches, improving your focus. People wear it when they're meditating as well. We have an acupressure comb, which is great for labor, for childbirth. But also great for anxiety and people that have like panic attacks. Basically, they grab onto the comb in the palm of their hand like this, and it redirects the pain or the anxiety to that feeling there, away from, if you were in labor, away from the contractions. So that's another one of our products. We've also recently, I say recently, it was back in March now, but we released some acupressure magnet patches. So this is for people who struggle with pain in their back, neck, shoulders, knees, headaches as well. And you actually put them on different parts of the body. So they're bigger stickers with a magnet on, and you put them on different acupuncture points on the body. And what it does is it combines acupressure and magnet therapy. So again, kind of a blend of Chinese medicine and Western medicine. And yeah, as I said, these are incredible for pain. And the reviews that we've had recently for the magnets has been pretty incredible.
How wonderful to help people that are going through chronic pain like that as well.
Chronic pain again is another thing where it's like you can try so many different things, right? There's not going to be one magic thing that's going to help.
Wonderful. And I think that is an important message, with all of these tools, that none of them are a magic wand, but if you use them all as part of a holistic healing system, then they can make a really big difference to your life. And you and I know that from our own recovery, but I'm sure you see that day to day with people as well. They can make a significant impact, but you never say to them, this is the only thing you need, because usually it comes down to doing a whole plethora of things for mind, body and soul.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a combination of holistic therapies that people need. But the great thing about our products is that they're really simple and you can use them, like they're really quick to apply or quick to use. So it's not like another like 2-hour addition to your like morning or evening routine. And it's just, there's so many wellness practices out there, aren't there now? But yeah, literally ear seeds take 2 minutes to apply. Magnets take 2 minutes to apply. With the other products, you can use them for between 5 to 20 minutes. And it doesn't always have to be every day either.
And do you have any wellness practices or routines that you do yourself every day? Not necessarily using your own products, but just things that help you maintain your health, your wellness, mental and physical, as a busy businesswoman and a mother.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wish I could say that I had an amazing morning routine that was really calming.
I don't hide that, don't worry. Mine are sporadic through the day. I have what I call my non-negotiables that I do, but there's no routine to when I'm going to do them during the day or the evening.
Yeah, literally, like I wake up to the sound of children screaming, so it's not the most calming start to the day. But I make sure I incorporate movement now into mostly every day. Something that I dropped off quite significantly last year. I think with life and children and the business and everything like that. But yeah, I make sure that most days now I'm moving, so I'm doing something either in the gym or walking. I do weekly therapy. That's like, I know that's not part of like a morning or evening routine, but it's just so important for me to be able to talk to someone about like what's going on in my head and to kind of voice my stresses and concerns. Every morning I do try and have lemon water with some apple cider vinegar in it. It has to be warm water. I'm not into iced drinks at all. And that's a big thing in Chinese medicine is don't drink iced drinks because they're not good for your digestion. So
Yeah.
that's something else that I do. So I mean, every night I've got my LED red light mask on.
Same.
In bed,
Yeah.
me and my husband both do it, and we look ridiculous.
It's
Um,
amazing.
and I lay on my acupressure mat, and then when I take that off, I do my skincare, and I gua sha or use facial cups as well.
Love that. I mean, all of that resonates with me. You sound like you do very similar routine to what I do. And if you were to share any traditional Chinese medicine inspired tips, I know you've just given one with not drinking the ice water to my listeners, what would that be? Are there any sort of real go-tos that you use which are inspired by TCM?
That's probably the biggest one, to be completely honest with you, the easiest one. Also, when I'm on my period, I try and make sure that I stay as warm as possible. I also always wear slippers or wear socks in the house on cold floors because it's not good to walk around with without them and getting cold feet. And that's throughout my whole cycle. That's not just when I'm on my period. I use ear seeds first day of my period religiously for 5 days, and it really, really helps with pain and with irritability and lack of energy. Chinese herbs as well are like so amazing,
Yeah.
and every time I have a cough or cold, I'll be straight on the phone to my Chinese doctor saying, "Please give me some herbs."
Same. Same. I'm flying next week, and I literally was texting my acupuncturist yesterday, going, I need some of these just in case I feel like I'm coming down with something, because then you can just almost take them early, because I always find that it's really good. The earlier you get them in, the better.
Yeah, definitely. And every year as well, just before hay fever season starts, I'll call her. She'll give me the herbs for hay fever, and it drastically improves my hay fever over that. I think it's usually like June time, which is the
Yeah.
worst for me.
Yeah, amazing. And if you were to share one final tip for everyone to just feel a sense of inner peace, what would that be?
Being accepting for where you are right now and knowing that things can improve and that things can get better. I think a lot of people, especially those when they get diagnosed with chronic illness, it's like, oh my god, my world has ended. Why has this happened to me? And they sort of go on a downward spiral, right, with their mindset. And something which I had to keep coming back to was like just accepting where I am right now, but it's going to get better. And every step that I made, like towards recovery, I was like, okay, now I can walk again. Now I can walk 10 minutes again. Right now it's not like right now that's not where I want to be, but it's okay. I've improved from only being able to walk 5 minutes. And soon I will run, and kind of looking forward to the future and to meeting those goals, but then also just being grateful for where you are in that moment. And as you said, with anything really, with healing, with becoming a mother, with getting that job that you want to get, with reaching those goals, it's like there's not going to be that one thing that causes it to happen. It's like an accumulation of steps and of progress forwards. So I'm not where I want to be right now, but I'm super grateful of who I am, of where I've gotten to, and to the progress that I've made. But I'm excited for the future. So that would probably be my long-winded way of
I love
creating
that.
like inner peace within myself.
I love that. Gratitude, celebrating the small wins, and knowing that you can look forward, but I guess also being present as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. And if you were to just share with everyone where they can get in touch with you and hear more about all your amazing products, would you mind sharing that?
Yes, so we are East Healing on Instagram. We're East Healing on TikTok. I've also got my own personal account, which is Gisele Boxer, where I'm trying to show up more online as my authentic self. So yeah, you can get sort of tips and stuff on there for building business, for recovery from chronic illness, general like motivational posts and stuff like that. So,
and we'll put all that in the show notes so everyone can just click straight through.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Gisele, thank you so much for all your tips and your wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me.